The things that they do at Volkswagen were not happening where I worked before. It's Volkswagen, it seems like at this plant that they try and push you to the limit and beyond the edge of it.
Volkswagen's Chattanooga plant in the United States began production in 2011. Since the plant opened, workers have been forming a union with the United Auto Workers.
It's very, very busy. It's nonstop, and when you do that for 12 hours, it's just about unbearable.
There's a pervasive mentality over there that you are an expendable on that floor. You're not to be listened to, you're not to be heard, you're to be bossed.
Don't stop my line. Run them. Don't stop it. You know, if the buffer's big enough, they'll stop and fix it if they can. Buffer gets low, write it up and let it go. We'll catch it later or send it to repair.
Punishing shift schedules, workplace injuries, and disrespectful supervisors have led Chattanooga workers to seek a voice on the job.
Management wants production. They don't want you to really worry whether or not you're going to come to work tomorrow, because they'll get somebody else to fill your spot.
The production workers itself, they're wore out. They're beat down pretty bad. You know, some of them working 60, 70 hours every week, 11 hours a day. They're on their feet all day long. They're getting pretty beat up pretty bad.
Well, I had one fellow on my line that was in his early 20s that had 2 carpal tunnel operations, one on each arm, within the first probably 3 years.
Workers have had to contend with weak labor laws and anti-union, right-wing politicians, but they've also had to battle their own company.
I worked on our finesse line for 4 years. Would clamp like this. I'd wake up in the morning and they'd be clamped, and I'd have to actually literally pull them apart, and they'd almost like unhinge back. And I still actually get some numbness in the bottom portions of my hands because of just the constant grip for 10 hours a day, just constantly just squeezing a buffer and holding it. And you're doing that 500 plus times a day, holding it for 12 seconds at a time for each thing you're doing.
To be honest, when you have a bonus that's based on safety, if it's not something that's going to keep you from doing your job, most people will let it go. Because you have to go through the rigmarole of everything that goes on with reporting it to medical. And I'm not saying that to diminish the fact that medical's there, but we have people that have hurt themselves. One person's torn his labrum, and they kept him working for 3 months while they were waiting on results.
In December 2015, Chattanooga maintenance workers voted overwhelmingly for the UAW as their collective bargaining representative. But Volkswagen has ignored their decision and refuses to meet to negotiate a collective bargaining agreement.
I had a friend that worked there with us. I got to know him pretty well. Tore his rotator cuff because he was having an overreach in the job he was doing. He had to go out. It was a workers' comp injury. They paid for everything. Come back, put him back in the same exact job. Tore his rotator cuff again. Same thing again. He come back and he asked him that, hey, I want to be moved to another job. And they said, there is no other job. This job, if you can't do it, then you'll have to find somewhere else to work because this is the job we have for you.
The rotating schedule, as well as just the fast pace of the job, yeah, I feel it, It's just, when I get off at the end of shift, it's all I can do to make it to my car, just sit there for a minute before I drive home. And then once I get home, can't go right to sleep because I have to, wind down or try to take something to help alleviate the pain so that I can go to sleep. So yeah, it takes its toll on your body.
It's 3 or 4 days of one shift, 12 hours, a few days off, then switch and go to midnight shift for 3 days, and then 1 day off, back to days for 3 days, something like that. The big selling point being, but you get 7 days off in a row. When I worked it, I needed 5 of those just to recover, and then we were right back into work again.
The U.S. National Labor Relations Board ruled that Volkswagen is in violation of U.S. law in refusing to negotiate with Chattanooga workers. Volkswagen refuses to comply with its own global framework agreement that governs its conduct at its plants around the world.
Yeah, it's hard for anybody's body to adjust. You don't adjust to it. It was awful. I had to go to the doctor and get some medicine to help me stay up at night, and some more medicine to help me go to sleep when I'm at home.
You know, this my job. I got kids to feed, you know, wife. So just try to, you know, block it out. It's kind of hard, but you know, you're going through this every day. And
people want to make a difference in their workforce. People want to have a say-so on how things are done as far as their life goes. And when you constantly have management and management and HR telling you that you have no say-so, you have absolutely nothing to do with what we do here, it just, you know, why be there? There's no hope. You know, it kills anybody's drive or hope to do anything.
Tell Volkswagen, respect Chattanooga workers.